So, Jesse, in terms of cooling a single room efficiently, how do ductless mini split systems compare to window units? And are there any advantages in terms of air circulation and noise level, things like that? And is that just because the condenser unit is on the outside of the house as opposed to being like right there in the
You're
window?
absolutely right. Yeah. So the condenser that houses the compressor that makes all the noise is split. It's a split system. So it's farther away. It's on the outside of the house. It's somewhere where you are not. With a window AC, those are right there attached to the window AC, right there in your window. So that's one big reason why the noise is far different with a ductless unit. Also, most ductless units these days have heating capability. So as far as I know, window ACs don't offer the heating capability. So and most ductless units nowadays are have some sort of heating capability with them.
So even though you might be installing it mainly for the air conditioning in the summer, you get that advantage of maybe being able to turn on the heat in the spring and the fall or even the winter and kind of supplement your heating in your house.
Yep, spring, fall, winter time, supplement your existing heat. Even just peace of mind and back up to your existing heat. If your heat was to ever go down one day, you're not dead in the water. You'd have something.
Do ductless units do better in terms of like air circulation and just like cooling down the whole room as well?
Yeah, I mean, I would say the fans they probably move more air. I would say the ductless units probably move more CFM than a typical window AC would. And especially if you're putting like a remote thermostat on that unit and you're putting it somewhere else, sensing temperature in the other part of the room, you'll get a more comfortable feel, more comfortable average temperature than just having a window AC in there.
Beyond just cooling, you mentioned that they can also do heat. Are there other types of advantages or features that ductless systems have that a window AC unit wouldn't?
Window ACs. Let's see, they still have air filters in there. We have air filters in our ductless units, so it's a similarity. But they obviously have the heat mode that I was telling you about, but they have a dry mode too, where they're looking to not necessarily make the room super cold, but the ductless units are looking to bring that moisture out of the air, bring the humidity down in the space, which is a big difference compared to a window AC.
And then, like you said, they have some sensors on them as well that can sense the temperature, like across the room and things like that. So probably your comfort level in the room is going to be a little bit better. Don't some of the units have like little sensors that can like tell where there's a person in the room too, and like aim the vents toward that person?
Yep. So one manufacturer we work with, their deluxe style indoor unit it's a motion sensor, a 3D IC sensor they call it. It can sense occupancy. It can sense heat signatures in the room, aim airflow towards the heat signature, aim airflow out away from the heat signature. Um, yeah, that's a nice feature for that deluxe system.
And then, talk a little bit about the installation process for ductless systems. Obviously, for people who use, window air conditioning units every spring, they're, lugging those AC units out of their closets or their attic or basement or something like that, and they're getting them installed in their windows. That's if they have multiple ones of those, that can take a long time. It's, can be backbreaking, work as well. Those things are heavy. Talk about a little bit the installation process of a ductless system, and then what people might or might not need to do moving forward as the seasons change.
Yeah, right. So I've definitely felt the pain of lugging window ACs in and out twice a year. Putting it in once, taking it out once, smashing up the windowsill, smashing up the doorway, breaking your back. Um, So with a ductless unit, what the installation is one and done. So it can be as little as a 1 day installation if you're doing, a little single zone unit. But once it's installed, it's permanently installed. It's not coming out after the summertime's over. It's there to stay. Um, After that, after the installation, annual maintenance is recommended. If you get using it for heating and cooling, maybe a twice a year maintenance, something like that. But there's no removal and reinstallation of the unit. It's a one and done thing. Like I said, as quick as 1 day, and then just annual maintenance after that would be the key.
And then the ductless units have like a filter in them as well. Can a person at home, clean or change those filters themselves too?
Yep, they have washable filters, so you don't have to replace them yearly. You can take them out, hose them off outside with the garden hose, or hose them off in the sink, dry them off real quick, and then just reinstall them. You could do that a couple times a year. Would be nice. Keeping the filters clean is, if you could do that for us, that'd be great.
But you want to do that in addition to having the professionals come in and do a yearly, maintenance cleaning where they're actually like more thoroughly cleaning it and also cleaning the outdoor unit as well, right?
Yep. An annual maintenance for us would look like changing the or not changing them, washing the filters, blowing out the drain line, cleaning the outside condenser, free of pollen, checking the electrical connections, checking refrigerant levels, checking amperage, checking discharge air temperature. So there's a lot more that goes into our annual maintenance than just washing the air filters.
And then just talk a little bit about multi-room cooling needs. I might have a house where I have to install 3 or 4 window air conditioners in order to really cool my house. How does that differ from maybe like a multi-zone ductless system?
Yeah, if you get into a multi-zone ductless system, and you're getting rid of 3 to 4 window ACs that you were previously running, and you're going to one outside condenser in a 3 to 4 zone ductless system, I think it's pretty safe to say you're gonna decrease your electricity consumption, decrease that electricity bill in the summertime. We can operate more efficiently than multiple window ACs. But now, what I will say is, if you're using maybe just one window AC now, and then you go ahead and you get ductless units for 2,000 square feet, that might not be so comparable. If you're just using one tiny little window AC, now you're going ahead and air conditioning the whole house. So I guess that all depends on really how many ACs you're using, at the window ACs you're offsetting.
Right. So if you're bumping up from a 500 BTU small unit, and all of a sudden you've got 2,000 BTUs or 3,000 BTUs in your house, you might be using more energy. But on the other hand, you're going to be more comfortable as well, because now you're going to be really able to cool that house down and not just have that one unit.
Of course, yeah. I mean, if you're doing 2,000 square feet with window ACs, and then you go to 2,000 square feet being cooled with mini splits, we're going to be more efficient all day. If you're cooling a 200 square feet with a window AC, and now you're cooling 2,000 square feet with mini splits, so it's not so comparable, but you'll be certainly more comfortable.